I've spent the last 30 days... Hey, works! I've just spent 30 days doing an online course. It's the Filmmaking and Storytelling course with Casey Neistat. And I've done this not just so I can review it and tell you all whether it's worth doing, but because I genuinely thought I might get something out of this myself as well. Ta-da! Now, I'm well aware that Casey Neistat can be, let's say, a polarizing character, but nobody can deny the productivity and the quality of what he was producing on a daily basis on YouTube.
So I've decided, starting today, my 34th birthday, I'm going to make a movie every day.
I almost called it a daily vlog, but it's more than that. They're like short-form documentaries. Like millions of people, I've really enjoyed the stories and entertainment that Casey was providing on a daily basis and for many years. But I've struggled to understand how one person alone managed to be so productive. So yes, you could call me a big fan, but it's more from a how on earth did he do it point of view. And I'm wondering if this course will give us a clue and maybe he'll tell us. So $250 later, I'm logging on and looking forward to the first lesson.
Welcome to day one of the class. So over the next 30 days, I'm going to be taking you through my entire filmmaking process. I will share with you and do my best to teach you the why of why I do it that way.
Pretty quickly, you realise you're going to be given a series of tasks. And the first one involves just using your phone. I've got to go out. Sadly, not to New York. You might be wondering why I'm stood in front of a roundabout. We've all been given a task for day one, and that is to come up with ideas for our videos. Apparently the idea isn't that important. It just has to be something that is important to you, that means something to you. And I've picked a roundabout, because this roundabout makes me angry. So the first task involves choosing the subject for your video, shooting it on something simple like a phone, and then hopefully coming back and editing it into an entertaining video. And at each stage of the process, Casey walks us through how he would approach this task. He steps out of his office onto the streets of New York and shows us how to choose the subject that he would choose. He shows us how to shoot really efficiently, and he gives a great in-depth demonstration of the thoughts behind his editing process. Now, I know why they suggested we shoot this task just using our phones. And it's easy to see why they didn't want us to get bogged down in choosing the perfect subject matter, because it's about gaining the skills you need to tell a great entertaining story out of almost any subject. So I took this as a bit of a challenge, and I picked the most boring subject I could. This might have been a mistake. Not that long ago, this was a quiet area. Now, most of the roads are totally jammed most of every day. And the reason for all this traffic? Now, I reckon you can see in my eyes the exact point when I realise I'm making the most boring video in the world. You see, at this point in the course, right at the beginning, I don't possess the skills I need to make an interesting video out of such a tedious subject. So I won't show you the rest. Besides, it's a bit embarrassing. However, everybody on the course, you're all put into small groups, a peer group if you like. And I uploaded the video as instructed because everybody in your peer group, you're all invited and actively encouraged to review and support each other's work as you progress through the course. At this point, I must admit, I got a little disillusioned because my video got glowing reports and I knew it was basically rubbish. It got so silly that I started to wonder if the people in my peer group were actually real people. Anyway, I tried to give them the same encouragement that they gave me and then realised maybe that's the problem. Sometimes when you're producing rubbish, you need really good friends to tell you it's rubbish. Anyway, the whole course moves up a gear now, because now we're starting to use proper cameras to make proper stories. And it's all about the story arc, the beginning, the middle and the end, and how to tie it all together.
Okay, that's not supposed to be off. That blue screen there, like if you've ever seen my YouTube videos, you should know. This is like perfect. This is exactly how I make movies. So that is not the movie that I was planning on making.
For me, this was the best part of the course. I really enjoyed watching Casey's style of shooting, and he gives us loads of really useful tips and tricks along the way. It's also great to see that he has to deal with the same audio issues as the rest of us.
I don't know how this happened. Okay, every shot, back to like this shot, for whatever reason, I've got no audio. None of the audio worked. And I think it's just because this was like wiggled or something.
The process of how to construct your story in the edit was covered in fantastic depth. And I really enjoyed this part. I think I learnt a lot and I genuinely found it inspiring. I'll get into trouble if I show you too many clips, but I think I should try and summarise if doing Casey's filmmaking and storytelling course is worthwhile. And I reckon there's two distinct groups of people that might be interested in this course. Firstly, there are those who are maybe just starting out on their filmmaking adventure and they want to know about every aspect of filmmaking. And I recognise to those people who may be struggling to reach 1,000 subs, then $250 is a sizable chunk of cash. The second group are people who maybe already make videos and they'd want to expand their skill set. To those people who already make money making videos, then $250 is more than reasonable. But if there's a failing to this course, I think Casey underestimates the huge part that New York plays as a character in his videos. It's his playground. It's the background to most of his stories. And it's much harder to portray an aspirational lifestyle if you happen to live in Wilmington-on-Sea. I also think Casey underestimates the 20 years plus of hard work and real pain that goes into filmmaking before you can make it look as easy as he does. And finally, if you're one of those people that's already making films, you can probably go back through Casey's old videos on YouTube and work out a lot of how he developed his style and managed to stay so productive. You can see the format and even the template developed that he used in a lot of his videos, and that research won't cost you $250. But having said all of that, there's a lot of really useful information about shooting and editing and storytelling that's available on this course. And if you're just starting out and you're willing to make the commitment, I'm sure you'll love these tasks. They force you out of your comfort zone, off the settee and out onto the streets to tell stories. And Casey really motivates you to tell stories. For old-timers like me, well, I was inspired. I was inspired to make filming fun again, to enjoy the process. And you're never too old to learn something new. So yeah, I was glad I did the course. Just don't fall into the trap of simply trying to copy whatever Casey does. Build on what you've learned and make it your own. I'd say develop the filmmaking techniques that work for your personality. So am I going to share with you the final film I made for Casey's course? Well, maybe I'm a bit embarrassed. Or maybe this is it. Thanks for watching.